What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at manifestation. And so I've got two pages that I'm looking at. One is the Law of Attraction, which has an article titled 9 Laws of Attraction Manifestation Techniques You Should Be Using. And another one is from Learn Religions, which has steps for manifesting your ideal mate. But depending on what they are, we may be able to amend some of them for manifesting whatever it is you need. It is also worth noting, Learn Religions does also have a page on new moon manifestation, which is generally a good time to try and manifest. My new moon videos on this channel are the ones where I'm doing the Chinese horoscopes this year anyway. They have been, if not uploaded, at least filmed on the new moon, because Chinese New Year is a lunar New Year, so it starts on a new moon. Alright, let's get into this first one. What have we got? Our first one is multi-perspective visualization. So it says here, when you do a creative visualization exercise, you imagine doing what you want to manifest. So you can also do visualizations from a third person perspective, seeing yourself from the outside. In fact, studies show that sports stars often improve their skills most effectively by seeing themselves in their visualizations. Try alternating the perspective you use and see which gets the best results. For what it's worth, many people find the third person perspective the best, but may take some getting used to if you've always conducted visualizations from the first person. So essentially, instead of trying to, see yourself looking into a mirror to see yourself, imagine you are just another person seeing yourself having or doing the things that you want. The next one's called intention point shifting. The intention point is possibly the best kept secret of the law of attraction. The author here has put most of my successes come directly from gaining a better understanding of what the intention point is and learning how to adjust it in order to communicate a more coherent, strong message to the universe. In some senses, intention point techniques are the only ones you'll ever really need to properly use the law of attraction. Again, the author says that for them, the law of attraction didn't work at all until they discovered the concept of the intention point. It's basically the meeting ground between your heart and your mind. When you activate your intention point, you manifest from a higher energy vibration, so things come faster and easier. So if you're wanting it with all of your heart, but your mind's not really there, it's not going to manifest as quickly. If you're trying to manifest it clearly in your mind, but your heart's not going to, again, so you've got to try and find that halfway point between the two. Our next one's multi-sensory visualization. So as well as changing up your perspective, it's important to learn how to do multi-sensory visualizations, which is essentially you need to involve more than just your sense of sight when you're picturing the dream life. Not only what does it look like, but what does it sound like? What does it feel like? Both physically and emotionally. Even spiritually, what does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Get specific. Because if you can paint that clear a picture, the universe knows exactly what it is you're trying to bring to the forefront. The fourth step is to question your beliefs. So whenever you find yourself engaging in negative self-talk or believing that you just can't do something, yourself where this message came from. You'll eventually be able to trace it back to an event from your past. This is often an experience you had as a child. Highlighting its birthplace helps you to judge the belief from a more objective standpoint. For example, the message that you're no good at anything creative is robbed of so much of its power when you realise that it's simply the voice of an ignorant, jealous teacher you had when you were young, right? Or maybe you were just probably disruptive in class and your teacher told you that you might not even been anything the teacher physically said to you. It might have just been the general grades you got for that particular class. And even then, that could come down to just how well your personality and your teachers melded or clashed or whatever. Number 5 is connecting with an object. If you find an object to represent the reality you want to manifest, you can use it in so many ways. A lot of people for this particular one like to make up mood boards. So you essentially sort of, mood boards are generally done in the new year, and you just sort of get, it might be newspaper clippings or it might be Instagram photos or anything like that. And you just sort of pin, the sorts of, it might be a particular car you want to have, or it might be that you want to have, you want to get your own place. You want to try and attract love or whatever it might be, and you just sort of pin, some images or some objects or whatever up on a board, that you sort of put, I can't really do it because where I would have to put it would be on these doors. I can't really do that. But generally it's wherever you're going to wake up and be able to see it first thing in the morning. Just so that every morning when you're waking up, you have this constant reminder of, this is the life that I am striving for. And being able to connect with that. Dream boarding is actually the 6th step. So what are they wanting here? Using things like stones, shells, pieces of jewellery. Some people like to find crystals that are connected with their manifestation, like rose quartz for love. So yeah, it could even just be, you might have something of, like a family heirloom, for instance, like you might, for instance, have one of your grandparents' engagement rings or something, and you connect that with how strong their marriage was or whatever, and wanting to find love as real as that, connecting to, the energy of that ring and what it represented for its original owner. And then, like I said, number 6 is dream boarding. We've already done that. You don't have to do it in picture frame. If you want to, you can just deck the whole wall out like that. But yeah, it's generally, you sort of put the things you want to have or achieve on your board. Number 7 is turning negatives into positives. So being able to be positive is a cornerstone of using the law of attraction to its full potential. There are lots of things you can do to facilitate this. Simplest is probably to get a gratitude journal. Mine is the routine, because it actually has, I've once again fallen off the wagon of filling this in, but it does have parts where, right at the top, it asks what you're grateful for. It gives you a space to put an affirmation for that day. You're able to sort of tick off some things on a to-do list, etc. You're really able to sort of track your progress of moving towards your goals with that particular journal. But just getting a gratitude journal or that sort of thing. That's the simplest one. So in that you write down, in a regular gratitude journal, you write down 3 things that make you feel grateful every day and 2 good things you can draw from difficult or challenging experiences you've had. This process both connects you with your happiness and also makes you see that everything can teach us something, even when the initial experience was a painful one. There are also more sophisticated meditation-based approaches to flipping negatives into positives, such as the spinning feelings exercise, which is obviously explained in a different article on the same site, because as they say. Number 8 is using a focus wheel. First time I've come up against this. Focus wheel is a simple but highly recommended way to shift your focus to more positive thoughts and attitudes when it comes to the things you want to attract. Grab a piece of paper, draw a small circle in the center, and write what you want to say. Write what you want. Say financial freedom, a loving partner, your own business, or good health. Okay. Next, write down a positive belief you have about the subject, placing this belief around the edge of the central circle. So, with the goal of starting a new business, for example, you might write positive belief: I have a great education in how to plan a business. Keep going, writing as many possible beliefs as you can find, always around the circle. Eventually your page will be full of statements that support your belief in the reality you want to manifest. If you like to add this focus wheel to your dream board, or just pin it to your fridge or front door to keep you connected with its truth. And the last one that it gives is living as if. So finally, instead of living as though you're currently waiting for the life to start, let me start that entire. Wow. I'm definitely going to get out of this. Instead of living as though you're currently waiting for the life you desire, start immediately living as though that reality is already yours. Walk with the posture you'd have if you achieved that career goal. Buy the furniture you'd get if you found that dream partner. Or rejuvenate your wardrobe so it's stocked with the clothes you'll be wearing when you're fitter and healthier. These types of actions send out powerful signals to the universe, and as a bonus, they keep you in a great mood. Interesting. I'm going to be coming back to look at that focus wheel in a second. But, on to the second side, very quickly. So it starts off with a little bit looking at behind the mistakes you can make. So it says quite simply, when you're vague about what you want, how do you expect to get what you want? For example, ask your neighbour to go to the mall and buy a blue blouse. If you do not tell your neighbour what size to get, fabric you would like, or even what shade of blue you like, you can see there might be a problem. Your neighbour friend returns wearing a new navy and white checkered double knit polyester top. That's not at all what you had in mind. You wanted a pale blue chiffon shirt for yourself. Your neighbour assumed you meant for her to go out and treat herself to a blouse, and you cannot really blame her for misunderstanding because you did not make yourself very clear. Its first one here is self-evaluation. Before you get ready, obviously we're looking here at finding, doing like a love manifestation here. It says before you get ready to take on another person in your life, you need to know where you stand on your own. Be introspective. Where are you at in your life at the moment? How did you get there? Are you happy? Are you sad? I think regardless, self-evaluation is probably a good idea before you start manifesting. Because you can have clear, sort of pure intentions for why that is the thing you want to manifest, it's going to come a lot easier. If you're only wanting that, that car or that latest gaming console or phone or whatever, out of spite for someone else because you want to have it before they do, sort of a thing. The universe isn't gonna connect with that as much. love. The next one is evaluating past relationships. Which I mean, you can do that for like, you know, evaluating why you want to have, you know, a 2-bedroom house, or why you want to have, you know, that, you know, that particular car, or whatever it might be. Evaluate the things similar to it that you had before, and why that thing that you want is the dream thing. You know, you might not care that it's not the latest and flashiest house, for instance, as long as the water pressure is good in the shower. You know, so if you're manifesting, you know, a place with good water pressure, that's something that, you know, the universe can connect to that, because you're being very specific about the fact that you would like to have a nice shower at the end of the day. The next one is to get clear about your needs. So explore your personal reasons for wanting to manifest what you're manifesting. So if that is a mate, are you lonely? Are you seeking financial freedom? Are you in need of some emotional support? No reason is wrong, but like I said, if it is coming from a more selfish place, or out of, you know, a more negative emotion, it's not, in the long run, when the universe manifests it for you, and it comes into your life, it's going to come with some of that negativity attached to it. And ultimately, when you get the thing that you wanted, you don't want negativity coming with it. You don't want the drama and all the issues and whatever that you've manifested along with it, because it's come from a negative place. It's just a thing to think about. But yeah, so no reason is wrong, but it's helpful to know where you're coming from, to better understand your needs. Realize that you cannot override free will. This one is particularly for manifesting love and friendships. At the end of the day, that person does not want to put in time, put in effort, or just simply does not, you know, return feelings. No amount of manifestation is going to change that, unfortunately. So you cannot manifest that ex to come back, if that ex left of their own volition. However, if it was more of a case of you messed up and you walked away when they were still trying to keep it going, maybe because you've had that change of heart, maybe you have a chance there. I'm hoping that's understandable. Like attracts like. None of this opposites attract here for manifestation. Consider all the various traits you are seeking in a person. So kindness, generosity, wealth, honesty, humor, those sorts of things. Do you have those same traits? So if you're seeking kindness, are you a kind person? If you're seeking generosity, are you generous? In whatever way you take generosity to mean. If you're seeking someone who's wealthy, are you also wealthy? And again, in whatever way you take that, that doesn't have to be financial wealth. You know, you could be looking for someone who is spiritually wealthy, or someone who is, you know, has a lot of free time and is very wealthy in being able to do things and go places and that sort of thing. Are you the same? Because if you're wanting someone, for instance, to go on adventures with in your free time, do you have the time to go on those adventures, or are you going to be consistently turn that person down because work comes first? And yeah, I think this one's probably more of a specifically for people manifestations, for trying to manifest people into your life. As far as like objects are concerned, you know, you can't really, you know, like if we get back to my water pressure analogy before, in what way do humans have good, like, are we looking at like you've got good blood pressure, so therefore your house should have good blood pressure, and that blood is just the water, like it doesn't line up. So this is more specifically for people. Next one is to make a manifest list. So listing all the things, and then, I mean, they've got a list here. A visual board is probably better, because you can actually wake up, you can see the thing in front of you, and then you're able to sort of, like the other one said, add in those other layers of what it sounds like, what it feels like on all the different levels, what it smells like, what it tastes like. So make a manifest list or a dream board. Dedicate your intentions. So you dedicate your manifest list with an affirmation or prayer, asking for it to be fulfilled with the aid of the universe. And you can continue to renew those dedications of intention every moon. So it could be as simple as, you know, when during the night, you know, like lighting a candle if you want to, and just sort of rededicating yourself to those intentions, to sort of reunite them in sort of that space. And then at the full moon, you can give gratitude for what's come in that last month. Make moon water in the moonlight, and you can sort of have, if you've got an actual written out list, you can actually have that underneath your jug or whatever of water that you're making moon water out of, and that will charge the list with that energy, which you can then sort of bring to the new moon, you know, that next fortnight or whenever, sort of rinse and repeat, to keep those manifestations well and truly alive. The next one is release your request to the universe. So allow your list to cook and simmer. The universe has now received your request. Trust that everything will work out perfectly. If you doubt it, you will be giving the universe a conflicting message that says you are not ready to have your life's desires fulfilled. Doubtful thinking will only create roadblocks along the path to finding the perfect mate or to achieving a certain goal. For instance, both myself and my friend in Sydney are both, whenever we talk to each other about me going to AFTRS next year, we don't use if. It's only when. You know, like, it's going to be so cool when you're studying here next year and, you know, we get to hang out more. Or you know, when you move down, I'll have to introduce you to some of my friends that do this and this, or, you know, joining some of the film festivals that he helps to organise, or helping to host a radio show or a podcast with him, and like making plans as if it's a certainty. So yeah, definitely do that, because yeah, at the moment there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going next year. The main question I have is, how easy is that going to be financially for myself, because it's going to be a big part of it. The last one should be the last one. Second to last one is take action. My dad has a fun little saying. Whenever as kids particularly, when we were like, we want that, or I really wish I had that. You'd say, hold out your hands. Yeah, spin in one hand and wish in the other. Which one's going to fill up first? Obviously the one you're putting action into. Disgusting action, yes, but action nonetheless. And it is going to fill up faster because this one's just going to be full of air, which the wind can blow your wishes away. So make sure you're putting in actual action, not just waking up in the morning like, oh yes, I'm going to have a beautiful $1 million mansion by the end of the year. If you're not putting in the effort to put that money aside to save up to be able to buy that $1 million mansion, it's not going to happen. That's unrealistic thinking. So yeah, pay attention to your gut instincts and follow them where they lead you. This is important. Do not think that you can just stay at home every evening, sit in front of the computer or television, and the universe is going to plant your perfect mate or other desire on your doorstep. It could happen that way, but becoming an active participant in this process will speed up the results. If you suddenly get an urge to go to the market when you're not hungry, go anyway. Your perfect mate is likely squeezing the tomatoes in the produce aisle that very minute. Or if it strikes you that you ought to attend a circus in a neighbouring town, do it even if you dislike caged performing animals and normally wouldn't dream of going near the circus. You never know who might be waiting for you there. And the last one is, be careful what you wish for. Be mindful of your manifest list requests. You might get what you wish for. Do not make the mistake of writing down you want a rich person as you don't mind possibly attracting a miser. Instead, ask for a financially secure person who has a generous heart. So that's all I've got for this video. I'll finish it off with a question for myself. We are up to question 12. We are scrolling through these. When do I find myself generally most inspired and motivated? Time of day or night? Certain activity? Why does this inspire me? For YouTube videos particularly, at night time. Usually because I'm using the day to do other things that are actually going to get me to afters or put money in the bank and that sort of thing. But yeah, doing study, doing this, sort of around about 3:30 to 4 o'clock sort of area. If I'm able, I'll sort of have a half-hour nap. When I get up from that, the nap sort of breaks the productive part of the day with the sort of wind down end of the day, where I'll do, some study, and I'll do my videos, and I'll have dinner, and all those other sorts of fun things, and it inspires me by allowing me that sort of, like it's kind of like a routine sort of thing, which is something that I desperately need in my life. I do struggle a lot of the time with motivation. The irony also being that I don't like, consistently doing the same thing over and over again. And so I can also get bored of routines. But obviously I'm not always going to be doing the same assignment every day. I might have work one day and the next day I don't have work, so different things are happening on those days. But having sort of the scaffolding there to sort of be able to, rebuild a new day each and every morning, and knowing that at a certain point this is going to happen, and then these are the general things that happen thereafter, but they are not fixed to a time. That helps inspire to try try and get up and make the most of each day. Because if I can do, an extra thing today than I would have been able to yesterday, what a win. But yeah, so links and that question in the description below. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. If you enjoyed this one, please give the video a thumbs up. And until next time, guys, keep your head screwed on.